Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match reaction. Manchester City 3, Burnley 1 in the Premier League, 8 wins in a row. Feels good. Feels good to get January over with. Not too many games, as we did have a little break in between, but we won them all. Undefeated in the month, undefeated in 2024. It's a good start to the year. Before I get into all of that, if you do me a massive favour and please leave a like on this video, massively help us out, and subscribe if you are new. We're trying to reach 7k as quickly as possible. And before I forget, we have just launched channel memberships. Big thanks to our first 2 members that came through the other night on live stream, Brax and Harry Briggsy. Massively appreciated, as we always maintain. We never ask for any super chats or any donations or members or anything like that. A like on the videos and live streams just does a massive favour for us. That's all we ask for. But if you would like to support the channel further, there is the option to become a channel member. There is a link in the description, or there is the big blue join button by the big red subscribe buttons. Hit both of that. If you want to support us further, click the notification bell if you haven't already. We were live again last night. Talking after the Burnley game. Hugh went in on Chelsea, so you missed something there. General chat should again hopefully be live tonight, so again, like I said, turn your notification bells on so you can come and join us, come and chat. Whatever goes on. There may be some news. Obviously, Man United play later on today, so here's hoping they lose and we can laugh at them. But focusing on the City side of things, we won 3-1. Relatively comfortable. Burnley get a consolation in the 92nd minute or something like that. It's this is going to be a slightly more condensed version because we did a stream on it and we touched on a lot of the moments there, so this is just a shortened version. But in terms of performance, it was comfortable. I don't think we had to even step out of first gear, to be honest. I think especially when Rodri's goal went in about a minute into the second half, it was quite clear that there was a drop-off, there was a switch-off, there was a conservative energy about us where, we decided to take the result, move on, not try too hard, not burn ourselves out, and, because we've got Brentford on Monday, which will be I imagine will be a harder game. Of course, Ivan Toney's back for them, so there's maybe a little bit of a feel-good factor for them, so, save ourselves for those, get some minutes into the legs to Kevin De Bruyne starting this game, first start since the first game of the season, which is encouraging to see. Erling Haaland back on the pitch as well. Good to get him some minutes. Matheus Nunes showing his quality once again. I guess that's kind of the first talking point is Nunes and Kovacic. Spoke about it on stream. Kovacic had probably his best, or one of his best performances against Tottenham in the FA Cup. That was really good. Was my man of the match, personally. But today, Pep Guardiola decides, you know what? He's had a great performance. I'm going to drop him for Matheus Nunes. But it worked. Of course it worked. Matheus Nunes, my man of the match today, and I suppose it throws a real headache when you're going into Brentford. Who'd you pick? You've got, your old reliable Bernardo Silva sat on the bench, ready and waiting. Will play a multitude of roles in the team to help us win games. You've got him, who is sort of the trusted and proven option. You've got Kovacic, who's off the back of a really good performance against Tottenham, who would bring control into the midfield. Or you've got someone like Nunes, who, again, off the back of a really good performance, might not add control, but adds running, adds penetration, adds, gaining yards up the pitch, going on, 30, 40 yard, carrying the ball. Final ball maybe still a little bit to be desired, but, adds that little bit of something that we don't have an abundance of. That could decide a game. So it's a real headache for Pep. It's a good headache to have, but I don't know where he goes. You let me know in the comments where do you think he goes for that one. Of course, we will have that conversation closer to the game. In terms of other positives, Kevin De Bruyne just has not lost an ounce of ability whatsoever. That ball to Alvarez from the free kick, inch perfect. What more can I say? That's just world class. The intelligence was never going to fade away. But the ability, obviously, we thought would be a bit rusty, but he seems to be back. Seems to be okay. So, steady build up of minutes from here on in, and, before we hit that tricky period of fixtures where we've got, Anfield, and, I've been through those games already. I don't really want to talk about them just yet. In terms of maybe slightly moments, I wouldn't say negative, I wouldn't say bad, because they weren't inherently bad, but I think decision making from Jeremy Doku needs to be a bit sharper. Again, we spoke on this on stream, that in terms of his final ball, maybe his first touch as well lets him down sometimes. But he had the beating of his fullback today, or yesterday at the time of you watching this. He had the beating of his fullback. He really did. But his decision making in terms of, the final ball, slightly poor, wrong option. I don't know whether it's a rush of blood to the head and that he just, sees an option and tries to go for it and doesn't, assess what other options he may have available around him. Or what, I don't know. That's something that, of course, I expect Pep Guardiola to drill into him. So it's not really a concern of mine. He's still young. Still has a long way to go. I always maintain my stance on the player's first season being essentially a free hit because players' first seasons rarely tend to work out under Pep Guardiola. Look at Grealish, look at Mahrez, two key cogs in a treble-winning machine that first season they weren't too great. Nothing really to shout about. They had their moments, but being consistent. Doku, add to that the fact that he's a younger player and he's not had the Premier League experience that Mahrez and Grealish had. I think we need to be patient. I'm being patient anyway. And I guess the last little bit that I want to talk about is, the question that's on screen is clean sheet. Is the fact that we couldn't hold on at the end concerning? Does it concern you? Does it slightly worry you that we may not be able to hold on to clean sheet, or we're not holding on to clean sheets as often as we would do last season? Now, of course, the defence was a little bit changed. We ended up with, obviously, Rodri had gone off at the time where they scored. Sergio Gomez was on the pitch playing at left back, pretty much. Rico Lewis started this game, wasn't Kyle Walker. Ruben Diaz was also on the bench. Was it that, or was it... I mean, the goal itself comes from Vardy losing concentration. If I have to be real, it comes from him essentially thinking game's over. I don't want to put in too much effort. Lapsing concentration. The player gets around him. And, the player that gets around him puts it into a dangerous position and bundles its way over the line. It's not pretty, but, he gets the job done. Is that a concern that we didn't hold on for a clean sheet? I mean, we had that period where, where we won 1 or 2 in 8. I think it was 2 in 8, where we just never could keep clean sheets. We could never stop the opposition from scoring. Even before that, when we were winning games, we still couldn't stop them from scoring. So we're also kind of we're almost handicapping ourselves to the point of where we knew we'd concede, so we'd need to go and score at least 2. So we'd go for it. At 1-0 up, we'd still be going for it. Is that a concern? I don't know. Personally, I think it slightly worries me that yes, the game was over. Yes, they weren't going to come back, and no, it didn't harm us. But it's not a good habit to get into not keeping clean sheets. Keeping clean sheets is an important part of football when you want to win titles. We did it so many times last year in those big Champions League games where we'd keep it, maybe not keep a clean sheet, but we'd keep it tight. Go into the Burnley 1-1. Bayern as well. We'd only concede once. And then at home, we turn them around. Can we still do that, knowing that we're a bit leaky at the moment? I don't know. Gvardiol's still settling in. Is he playing out of position? Is a left-back really suiting his role? I don't know. Of course, John Stones is back. Well, what happens to the defence now? We have options. Akanji wasn't in the matchday squad, but he's training. What does the defence look like going forward? I want to see a settled defence. I don't want to see too much rotation because defending is all about partnerships and knowing where your teammates are going to be and, building chemistry. And that's what's helped us over the years with having John Stones, Ruben Diaz as a centre-back pairing, is they've built a chemistry. They've built a know-how of how each other play. They've built a really good chemistry and a really good style with each other. So that'd be one that I look forward to, potentially being able to see, but also at the same time I realise it's Pep Guardiola and he likes to roulette. So who knows? You let me know if it's something maybe that you're worried about or there's a little bit of concern there or whether it's nothing and it doesn't really matter to you because the game was over at that point. But you let me know in the comment section below. That's it from me, from this post-match reaction. If you would please on your way out leave a like on this video, massively helps us out, and subscribe if you are new. Turn the notification bells on because we should be live tonight talking about whatever goes on in the world of football, and there is a link in the description or a big blue join button if you do want to support us further and become a channel member like I will continue to say. We will never ask for donations or memberships or anything of the others, but if you want to support the channel further, that is always an option. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you tonight when we go live.